Oh my God. 10 minutes of talking and the microphone wasn't on. Sergi, thank you for letting me know. I literally had other people's pop in and pop out and no one said a damn thing. Okay, so I'm going to start all over. Um, so I'm here today to talk about. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you can hear me now. I'm here today to talk about a story that happened today. I was invited by a friend of mine that works for Nintendo, and he invited me to go and take a look at a collection that belonged to someone that passed away a couple of years ago. His name is Jimmy, and I met his wife today, Patricia, at a yard sale that she's having at her home. And what drew me in, or what hooked me into all of this, was the story itself. Okay, so here we are. It's a collector. The collector unfortunately passed away, and when the collector passed away, um, his wife was left behind. We record the place and post it on your YouTube. I cannot. I out of respect for his widowed wife, I did not want to do that. I didn't want to record the whole yard sale experience. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the things that I acquired while I was there. So basically, she has all these video games left over from his collection. And I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry for Patricia's loss, and now she's gonna move out of state, and she's been slowly trying to get all of his collection off to new people. So today I went to the yard sale, and with my buddy that showed me who she was and everything. And when I initially was going to do this, I didn't know about the yard sale. I had received a text message along with a couple pictures showing me a collection of games. Being a collector, there's a lot of games that are going to be in those pictures that I already own. So when I went through the pictures and saw what was there, I came across 4 titles that I was interested in. And I shot a price at her that I thought was really low, and she came back with a higher price, completely understandable. And the higher price that she offered was more of something that made sense to me for what was going on. So rather than, I'm not here to talk about pricing on everything that I got today. I'm just going to say that from a collector going to someone else's collection that has passed, and rummaging through the titles and figuring out what I would like to take home, it was quite an experience, a kind of an eye-opening experience. Like, could my wife one day could very well be in Patricia's situation where I pass and all these games are here, and what do you do? How do you get rid of them all? Like, these are questions that you don't think about when you're, being a collector. It's just one of those things, like when you pass, what happens? So that being said, 4 individual titles drew me in. And out of the 4, 3 of them I really wanted. One of them, the first one I'm going to show you, was just kind of like a filler. Is there a state you're going to visit? No. I'm not going to another state or anything like that. This happened in my state. She's the one moving out of state. So she's just trying to remove the collection from her possession before moving. That way there's less things to move to her new location. So that being said, she's going through and she's selling titles. I saw titles today that I never thought I would see in real life. Like, they were right there in front of me. They were in my hand, and a lot of them I had to put back because they were so pristine that the pricing that she was asking was very reasonable. Very, very reasonable. So when you see something like that and you're dealing with something like that, you kind of you feel for the situation, and she knows now that I'm not just some person rummaging through the yard sale, that I'm a collector here locally, and that they're actually going into a collection. They're going to be played, they're going to be cared for, everything that her late husband Jimmy would have wanted for these games. Not to mention, I have kids, and my kids get to play every now and then with me up here as well. So, the first game that I picked up from the yard sale, not necessarily a banger title, but it was a fun little game to pick up, and it's called Jurassic the Hunted. A very, I mean, the case itself just looks brand new, barely touched. Everything's here, like the game, the book, the manual, and it's just in pristine shape. There's not a scratch anywhere, and it's a legit disc. It's beautiful, and I felt like I was, exactly, Sergi, I felt like I was doing it for a very good cause. I felt like this was a good reason to go over budget, because I went over budget, and I'm not gonna lie, because I was already on budget for these 4 titles, including this one. So I'm going to show you the other 3. This is what drew me in to go. And this is also why the Nintendo representative is the one that mentioned all of this, because they were mostly Nintendo games that drew me in. So the first thing that caught my eye that I really, really wanted for the collection that I've never played. All right? Clay Fighter. 63 1/3. This right here, and it was cased already. So just like a collector like myself, these things were cased. They're very well cared for, and they're absolutely beautiful. And I honestly, I haven't opened it yet, and I kind of don't want to, but they're sealed. They're sealed on both. Oh no, they're not sealed. These got the extra little measure of a stopper tab. That's cool. The ones that I have do not do that. This is a bit nicer than the ones that I have. That's cool. So let me see if I can get this open. All right. So again, everything is for the channel. I plan on playing these games. I didn't buy these games for them just to sit on a shelf. They're gonna sit on a shelf. You can see my Nintendo 64 collection is right behind me, and it goes over another row. So I love my Nintendo 64 games. They need to be in the box, and these are exactly what I would like to see. Is very pristine, nothing going on with the corners. I know you guys are probably, other collectors watching this right now are gonna be like, why are you opening it? Because I play my games. It's important to have, and it's important to play. Okay? So that being said, look, like, it's pristine. It's all here. Beautiful. Look at that. There's no dog ears. It's perfect. And the cartridge, it looks brand new. Like, he maybe played it a couple times, if that, and it's in pristine shape. It's unbelievable. And I saw these pictures, and in the pictures, I didn't even see the inside. Again, when you saw the pictures that it was sent to me for this collection, you know that it's very well cared for. You know that you're not just buying from GameStop. It's been chewed up and spat out so many times. Like, it's pristine, guys. This thing is unbelievable. Beautiful shape. I couldn't have asked for a better shape of this. And it's beautiful. So, this was the main one. I saw this, I wanted this. And then there was some other Nintendo 64 titles and some Super Nintendo titles that were all there too. And I did not bite on the Super Nintendo titles. I did bite on the Nintendo 64 titles. So the next one that I got was, again, it's coming from a collector. I wanted to, have some of his collection kept together. So with that being said, I went ahead and bought this next game as well. And it was part of the 4 games that I wanted to get that drew me to go to the yard sale. So this one here is called Aerial Fighters Assault. I have never seen this game, played this game, never even heard of it. So to me, it seemed like one of those games that I should pick up. Whenever I don't know of a game and it looks like it'd be a lot of fun from the title, I'm like, all right, I need to pick it up. But again, look at the box. Look at the shape. Like, this is pristine. It's unbelievable. I cannot believe. I see, but I'm wondering if you have Japanese games from Nintendo. I have a couple Japanese games from Nintendo. They're behind me in the original NES collection. And I have a couple Japanese games for PS3 as well. So yes, I do have. Oh yeah, Smash Brothers. I got all the Smash Brothers. They're in the collection. They're here. So Aero Fighters Assault, beautiful shape. I'm gonna open it up for the first time in who knows how long, and we're gonna just take a quick peek inside. Again, trying to be very, very careful here, because these are absolutely pristine, and again, they're gonna be well looked after in the collection. Okay, so it looks like we have a poster that came with it. I don't want to open it. I don't want to risk ripping it. You've got your cards, player's guide offer, and of course, the manual is all here. So all the goodies that you would expect are here. Now this one's slightly different. The cartridge is actually in the original plastic. That's just amazing. Again, I didn't look in the cartridges. I didn't need to. I felt like this was one of those moments where checking things was not needed. It's what I mean when you're buying from a collector and adding it to your collection. It's just one of those things where, like, I mean, look how beautiful. I mean, there's not a mark. It's perfectly clean. I mean, look at it. It's immaculate, guys. So this was the 3rd game in the collection that I picked up. And again, like, just going down into the basement of the home, which happened after this last title that I'm about to show you, because these titles were put aside specifically for me to come in and grab, because we had a conversation via text before going down there. And then I was informed that there's actually a yard sale, and I was informed on the way there that there were way more titles than what he thought still left in the collection. So I was, again, super glad that I actually went ahead and stopped at the bank, because, again, I was over budget buying these 4 games. I was actually, it wasn't much over budget, but it was over budget. And I felt like, because of the situation and the story behind it, that to me it was worth paying the extra, if not even more than what I paid, because I feel like what I paid should have been more. And I wish I could have done more, but I literally emptied my wallet by the time I left. So again, I had brought the original amount of money that we had discussed in order to buy these 4 games, and I had nearly double of what I paid in the wallet just in case, which I'm glad I did. So the last game that hooked me into wanting to go was the PGA European Tour. I like golf games, and Nintendo Sports games are really hard to come by. I like the fact that it was a 4-player golf game; those are harder to come by as well, especially on a couch scenario. So I picked up the European Tour. Again, immaculate condition. Everything looks beautiful. And it's so rare to find this type of quality in the wild. And again, had it not have been for the story, I would not have known any of this if it had not have been because of my Nintendo representative friend that I have known for years. So this one doesn't have as much inside the box. I don't know whether or not it's just because they didn't do that, or if they only did just the manual. But the manual's in the box with this one, and it's in amazing shape, just like everything else. And just like the other one, it's in the plastic. So it's in amazing shape again. Look at that. Oh, too much glare. There we go. So these are absolutely beautiful and amazing additions to the collection. And like I said, when I first got there or first heard about all of this, this is what I came to get. That was it. Like, I was just going to get these 4 games. Now, what I'm going to show you next is what happens when a collector comes across a collection. And I have willpower, and I'm going to say that straight from the get-go. I do have willpower. I can not spend money, but because of the scenario, because of the situation, because of the story, I really wanted to do a bit more. And when I saw some of these other titles, I couldn't believe it. So those were the 4. I came in for those 4. That was it. Now, I set foot into her house. And the pictures that I had seen, they were all sitting out on the table. But next to them was a game that I've wanted. And I wasn't sure when I would ever see it in the wild. But I found it in the wild, and it was there. And I was like, I need to have this one. This is just one of those games. And I'm going to show it to you, and you're going to think that this is brand new. You ready? You ready for this? This is Soul Reaver, guys. You can see by the shine and the condition that this thing is beautiful. I'm going to look for the first time because, I had no reason to doubt any. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Look how pretty. There's no scratches. I could never get this lucky. Soul Reaver for PlayStation 1. Right there. Now part of the collection. Have I played it? No, I've never owned it till now. So I've never played it. I see the difference between the old times and the new times and the time of Nintendo 64. It has manuals, and the newer times, the game itself has some hints, buttons, or how to play. Yes. That's the way it used to be. Your games had how to play it in the box with it. And so many times when you go to find a game, there's no instructions with it. And you need to go online, you need to look it up and see how it's done. And, that's all well and good. But it's nice to have it there. I know a lot of these new games, they went ahead and they put, how to plays and all stuff like that in the game itself, which is what they do for modern gaming now, is that there is no paper and it's all on the disc. And now, I say modern games on disc. We all know modern games on disc is fewer and far between. So, yeah. So, that was Soul Reaver. I saw that, and then I was like, okay, we haven't even made it into the room where the games were yet. So, what am I going to see here? So, we descend into the basement to where the game room used to be. And I see boxes of accessories, and I see on the floor all these games stacked up with dollar signs and values and all that, all right with them. Which one, when I go somewhere, I want to see a price. I want to see a price. I can't even get that when I go to a freaking pawn shop. I can't get that when I go to other places, like real legit like game stores. They don't put prices on their stuff. That is a bad practice. Y'all need to stop doing that. If any of y'all are watching this that owns a video game place, put prices on your games. Don't make me hunt for it. Don't make me try and price match. Just put it out there. This is what it is. This is how much I'm selling it for. Take it or leave it. That's way more respectful to anybody as a buyer, is to have the price there and not be like, well, yesterday it was 50, today it's 120. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that. Sergi is saying, well, because of the Netflix of that DVD of Legacy of Kain, I saw my own comments. Oh, yeah. The reflection, you mean. Yes, that's Reflex. That's Reflex. I read Netflix. I don't know why. So, yes. You can see that the game is just absolutely immaculate. It looks beautiful. So, from there, I made my descent, okay? So, Soul Reaver, I just put it aside on the table and said, I will get this on my way back up. I'm not kidding you. I got into the basement. I saw the other stuff. I completely forgot about the game upstairs. So, whoops. The first thing that really caught my eye when I went downstairs was a game that a friend of mine recommended that I get. And I hunted, and I could never, ever find this game in the wild. Or if I did, it was just the discs. They were scratched to hell, and they wanted way too much money for it. Again, this isn't your normal yard sale. This is from a collection, and I here it is, guys. Another PlayStation title, just sitting there, right for the picking. You ready? You see that? That's Metal Arms. It's so immaculate, guys. It is missing the manual. It's okay. I didn't look. It's okay. Manual's missing. It very well could be somewhere else in the house. It's fine. But Wild Arms is here. Look at that. It's amazing. Absolutely in pristine condition again. I'm a little bummed I don't have the manual, because when you shop for any PlayStation, you just automatically assume that the cover is there. You've got the manual, but that's okay. It's all right. I can hunt down the manual. This is the hardest part to find, with no cracks and no damage. You can't find this one, and go ahead, Find it in the wild. I dare you. Find Wild Arms out there somewhere. Find it. Good luck. I wish you the best of luck. So, Wild Arms, missing the manual. It doesn't matter. I don't care. It's beautiful. Thank you. If you're watching, Patricia, thank you. All right. So, that was it for PlayStation titles. So, I have a couple more that I found while I was there, and this is going to go back to the Sega Genesis era, and actually more of Sega CD. So basically, I found 3 games, and I kid you not, once again, I could not believe the condition. In my childhood, I finally could see another difference collector about to know if the DVD is pirate. The OG DVD reflex has a red, blue, and green light, and the pirated part only has blue and purple. There is that you can go by. The other thing that you can go by is on the disc itself. On the older stuff, black discs for PlayStation was very, very normal. Because these are not DVD, these are CD. This is before PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 is your DVD. There's you're going to find your blue glow and everything else. But yeah, and I can actually, because I have a PlayStation 2 game sitting here right now, from a bunch of stuff that I just collected recently. So I've been on a collecting spree. But you can see here on this PlayStation 2 disc, this one does not have the blue. And you can also see the difference. Look at the difference in quality. This is off of eBay, guys. All right. And again, I hunted, I looked, and you know, there's a couple scratches I'm seeing. You can actually kind of see some of the stuff that's on my desk in the reflection. But yes, you know, so this game, along with a couple others that I got recently, that's a PlayStation 2 game. I just wanted to pull that out real quick. That is not something I got from today. That's something that I've been getting in recently because I wanted to get more Warhammer stuff in here. Yes, what I bought is original from eBay. Yes, it's hard. You have to like zoom in on the picture and really make sure you're not getting scammed on eBay. And I tend to do very, very well with that. I've only been caught once picking up a pirated game for the Xbox 360. I called the owner that sent it to me out on it in my what do you call that? My review for buying from him. And I just called him out on that. Did I send it back? No, because I'm not one of those people that will do something like that. Instead, I just did the next best thing. I went back onto eBay. I found the disc only, and I actually ended up finding the disc with another case. So I got a spare case, and I got an original copy of the game. And that solves my collection issue. So just like Wild Arms here, I'm going to start hunting for the manual. And when I find it at a decent price, I'm going to go ahead and order it and get it in. And I will have the manual. And this will be a 100% version of Wild Arms. And a 100% version of Wild Arms goes for a lot more. And do I care about that? Not really. Because again, I'm not here to sell my collection. I'm far from wanting to do something like that. I just love games and I want them here. So to get back on track, and how did you know it was pirate? The Xbox 360 game that I got, when I first held it in my hand, there was a bit of a weird feel to it. And it like someone had stuck a label onto something. And then the real way that I found was Xbox 360 games. Again, I have another 360 game in order to show the exact way to tell. Look at the dead center of this Xbox 360 game. You see those logos there? Those are only present on an original disc copy of the game. And you can see again, this is not perfect. This is eBay. There's a couple little stuff on it. It's not horrible. Again, there's a lot of things that pass my qualifications to get into a collection of mine. The fact that I even found these games today is more of a tribute as to why I don't usually pay these prices, is because it's a look. Here's the next one, okay? Echo the Dolphin. Pristine. In here. I know it's in here. I didn't even look. You know why I didn't look? Because again, I trusted her. And I had no reason not to trust her. And I still don't have a reason not to trust her. That's the manual. It's the backside of the manual. I bet you this Sega CD, my God, is beautiful. There's nothing. There's no anything. Beautiful. Beautiful. So this was more of an amazing story with some titles that, yeah, I was looking for. Would I have got these eventually? Possibly. But because they were right there and because of the story behind it, I wanted to have it. And you get these on eBay, it's cracked. The hinge doesn't work anymore because it's busted. So again, finding something like this on eBay is hard. And she could have gone through the trouble and put all this stuff on eBay, but the amount of headaches that she would have experienced trying to offload the collection that way, it would not have been pleasurable. And I don't think it would have been what her late husband would have wanted. You know, Jimmy is probably super happy that these games have ended up with another collector, and knowing that, one, they're going to be well cared for, and two, they're actually going to get played. And the even better than that, they're going to get played live at some point here. So just beautiful games. So that was another basement one. Once I got into the basement, I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I saw this one. Thunderstrike. Or Thunderstrike. Strike. Look at that. Look how pristine. Every single one of these blew my mind. And I'm going to open it up. And the styrofoam's still here, guys, on this one. All right. If the styrofoam's here, you know this thing is going to be beautiful. I'm going to pull it out. Sega CD. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. So it blows my mind. It blows my mind. This is what I mean when you go somewhere and then you end up seeing these as well. I was like, I thought for sure I was just walking away with 4 games. I did not. So the last one that I found in the basement, and I still have one more to show, and I'll tell you that story next. So the last one that I found in the basement was Mega Race. I mean, look at it. It's just I couldn't believe it, guys. And to find them in the wild from another collector, the chances are just I'm so glad that my buddy reached out to me. I'm so happy. I'm so glad. I can't thank him enough. I always can never thank him enough. This one has a couple little blemishes, but if I would have shopped on eBay, I still would have bought it. So I'm still super happy. Just a couple little blemishes. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but I'm going to try and move it around. You can kind of see the little dot straight at the 12 o'clock. There is a couple more marks, but it's still absolutely pristine. I'm sure this will play just fine. So and that's Mega Race. And of course, the whole manual's there. So yeah. So we, in the basement, I walked out with a PlayStation game, 3 Sega CD games, and then I get upstairs and I was like, oh man, I completely forgot about this one. So I had to shell out the extra bucks for this one. And then I go outside and we're having our goodbye conversation. And out of the corner of my eye, I notice yet another video game that's no longer downstairs. It's now upstairs. I'm like, I don't remember seeing this coming in. And I looked right at the box next to it. And I remember seeing the PlayStation 3 accessory for the iMove. And I was like, that looks cool. I don't want to pay for it. But right next to it was a game that I remember this game because my sister owned this game. I couldn't tell you whether or not she still owns this game or not because I honestly don't know. But I knew that I wanted... I tell you a story. Batman Begins game was hated by some. I love the game, and also there would be a Dark Knight game, but it was canceled. I have Batman. I think it's Batman Returns, I think is the one I have for Sega CD. It's got the penguin on the front of it. I think it's Batman Returns. So I have that Batman for Sega CD. That's kind of a neat, interesting game because it starts off as you're in the Batmobile and you're trying to shoot everything, and it really, really reminds me of like Road Blasters. Just looks way better. And so, anyways, so the last thing that catches my eye as we're getting ready to leave this place, and this amazing home of a collection of amazing games. Good morning, Kings. How's it going? Happy Sunday to you as well. So the last thing that I find in the collection, it was just sitting there. I was like, that's amazing. For one, for it to be there. For two, this time I did open it while I was there. Not to be rude, but because I've never seen this thing complete. Not since my sister brought it home the day that she bought it, day one. So I thought it would be a great game for the kids, and she was very, very kind to me and probably let this go to me for a very, very low price. But again, she was really happy that this was all going to someone that is a collector, to someone that's going to appreciate it for what it was, and to someone that's not going to just turn around and sell it. That is not what I do here. The stuff in this room is here because I want to play it. It's going to get used. So this level of quality is not something I typically buy because I'm going to use it. I don't want to ruin its condition. So the last thing that I saw that caught my eye on my way out was a game for the Xbox 360. A little bit more of a modern title. But this game came with 4 controllers. All 4 of them are in the box. So again, I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it's here. And then I started looking. It's the Scene It game that came with these special controllers. Oops. With the sleeve. And it's here. In all its glory. And this game, like I said, it comes with all these little controllers. It opens up and it tells you, you know, what you need to do and everything else. It's just, it's hard. Like, usually this is all just really, really torn. But one question, do you have... Oh yeah, I have the Connect. Yes, yes, I'm a collector. I have it. So, you know, it's just, it was one of those things where I was like, I gotta have it. The game's in here. I'm not going to open it all the way back up to show you the game on this one. This one's a bit more intricate in order to do it. But it was an only for Xbox 360 title. So yeah, Kings. I'm gonna put them all back, and as I do, I'm just gonna flash them back across the screen. So one, I'm gonna say it one more time. Patricia, thank you. Your husband, your late husband, Jimmy, had an amazing collection. And I'm really thankful that not only did I come in and pick up the 4 games that I was originally looking for, but I also picked up these additional, 3, 4, 6 games on top of it that I was not expecting to walk away from. I was expecting 4 games and walk out and be done. But something told me to swing by the bank and pick up some more money just in case. I'm glad I did. I'm glad you were willing to sell them to me. I met some really great people today. So thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and show them all one last time as I put them away. Because it's such a great, sad story. Jimmy... Your collection, I know you're not with us anymore and you'll never see this, but your collection was beautiful, and it's a shame that it did get broken up and it did go to many people, and I honestly hope that most of the people that picked up the games from your collection treat them as good as I will here, because they will get played here and they will be respected here, and they're going to be shown at some point for what they were and played live, for not only for me to enjoy, but my audience that's watching as well. That's the whole point of this channel, is to go through this stuff. So, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, this was amazing. What an experience. I just, again, wow. Just wow. I could not believe I'm still like, I'm tempted to go back. If I had more money, I would. I can't. I went almost double budget. So I'm way over budget. So I'm gonna put them all back. These are probably one of the most pristine sets of games that I've ever added to the collection. And out of everything, only one game is missing the manual. I mean, I cannot complain. Everything's beautiful. It all looks exactly like I would expect to see from a collection. Jimmy, your collection was amazing. Patricia, you're a sweetheart. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to start putting them away now, okay? So, this is Seen It. Last one I just talked about. Pristine. Everything's pristine. I'm not even going to keep on saying pristine. You guys get it at this point. If you've made it this far into the video, you understand that when I splash this game and go, look, here's Mega Race for Sega CD, it's beautiful. You need to see, you want to look inside? Rewind the video. It's there. Feel free to check it out. And that was in the basement. It was not part of what I went there for. The Scene It game was sitting outside on the front lawn, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta get this one too. So the next one for the Sega CD was Thunderstrike right here, helicopter game. Oh my gosh, Unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. It's so hard to find games like this in the wild, and they're rare. They're rare. Kings recognizes it. It's rare. Like Echo the Dolphin, Sega CD. It's there. It's pristine. There's no cracks. There's no marks. I know. I know. All right. So that's it for... No, one more for the basement. One more from the basement. Yeah. Yeah, you're seeing that right. That is Wild Arms. And no, this is the one that's missing the manual. So it's not complete. But I was not about to just pass this up. Okay? Yeah. Wild Arms, guys. I've been hunting for this one for so long. I'm not going to forget where it came from. Then, as I said earlier in the story, before I went into the basement, I saw another pile of stuff. And lo and behold, what was sitting there all beautiful and said, pick me, take me home. Soul Reaver. PlayStation 1. It's just sitting there. Yep. Had to get it. So, now we're getting into the games, like I said, that originally brought me to go over to the house. And I'm leaving the one that I specifically wanted for last. Alright? So, again, this game was just a filler game. I didn't know there was other games sitting at the place. But Jurassic the Hunted, not a very respectable game at all, but it's missing from the collection. I want to shoot some dinosaurs. This would be fun. So I figured I'd add that into the collection. So I was glad that I found that. And then these other two games were games that I just... Dude, I'm over here almost in tears. Super solid finds that'll almost never be seen in that... Kings, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. So, PGA Tour... She had the beautiful case to protect it. It was there. And everything's in here. This one had the manual, but it didn't have little extra inserts. But I don't know if it came with the extra inserts, because it's not a Nintendo branded game. But it's all here. It's beautiful. The game was in the plastic. It's all there. So that was one of the 4 games that I went there for. And the second to last of the 4 was this one here, Aero Fighters Assault. Never played it, never heard of it. Figured I'd get it. Looked kind of cool. Multiplayer functionality, gotta have it. Pristine, plastic wrapped game inside. All inserts, manual, and a poster that I don't want to open because I'm afraid it's going to rip if I do. So it's all there, 100%. And then the final game, the game that lured me and into this whole story and finding out everything and being just amazed, last but not least, was Clay Fighter 63 and a third. Again, beautiful game. The game itself was not in the plastic. The inserts were there. You can see behind me, I like my Nintendo 64s completely intact, and this does not disappoint. So that is everything that I picked up for my collection from the yard sale. I'm looking at a stack of games right here that's been here that you probably saw bits and pieces of it in the reflections of other games as I was showing you that everything is amazing. Yeah, I know, Clay Fighter, I know, it wasn't in the collection. I couldn't believe it. It was there. I had to get it. So, yeah, this is an amazing story. I'm not here to play games today. I'm sure you would love for me to go through these and fire them up and show them one by one on the screen. And I respect that, but I also have to respectfully decline. It would take me a while to get these consoles up and running and be able to show you this. So that is not what I'm here to do today. So there are other games here that are not from what happened today. I'm not sure if this is the place to go over them right now. This man, yes, he truly was a legend. So what I understand is that on new release Tuesday, he would go to the local Best Buy and he would go in and grab the games that he wanted to have in his collection. And they went, and they were always adult owned and cared for. The Nintendo representative, my friend, I'm leaving his name out on purpose because there are things that I've received from him that is not allowed to be discussed, and I'm not going to discuss it, but they have been shown in other videos. Feel free to find them. I'm not here to talk about those, but it was just one of those things where when he says, hey man, you need to check such and such out, or hey man, I found another Zelda thing for you, or hey man, this, I listen. I have to think heavily on it because I know sometimes it just may break the bank, which was fine today. I was okay. Did I go over budget? Yes, I did. I went over budget, but you can see why I went over budget based on everything I just showed you. So I can, if you want, you let me know right now in the comments. If you want, I can show you some of the recent finds that I've got in that are waiting, and you will see the conditions of some of the other things that I normally get and how much they differ from what I just went through. Because that is what I just went through is pristine from a collector. You will not find them like this. It is hard to find them like this. Kings would like me to go over some of the other ones, so I'm going to go ahead and stress this one more time for those that are watching. What I am about to show you did not come from the collection. These are games that recently came into my collection that I have here beside me because I have not put them to where they need to go. They have not been put back in their home, or should I say they have not been put in their new home. So again, what you're about to see is not the same kind of quality. It is still amazing finds, and everything has a story as to why I did it and everything else. But let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so I'm gonna move my my 3D print that I did of my Legend of Zelda sword. It looks amazing. It needs to be painted. You know, one of those things. When you 3D print stuff, finding the time to paint it's a little harder. So, that's cool. So I'm gonna put that back there. So, obviously, you all know about the Turtle Beach controller. I got that in recently. I've been using that. The thing is amazing. It's brand new. Yes, of course, it's going to be in pristine condition. I'm not going to open it up. I'm not going to show the controller. There's no reason to really dwell on that. It's just the first thing that's right here. All right, so I'm actually going to move some things around just because I got them in different orders and for different purposes. So a while back, we were talking on my channel about some games that I should play and games that I should get in. And I took all your guys' advice, and what I did was I picked up Medal of Honor for PlayStation, and I picked up a bunch of other Medal of Honor games, but this is the first series that I had got in. It still looks beautiful, but if I could just get the right reflections on it, you would see, good morning, Samuel. It's just, this compared to the other stuff, it's not as pristine, it's not as beautiful, but it passes for something that I would put in my collection. And you can see here, see the scuffs? This is what you normally find when you go on eBay to order something. It's not pristine, it's got scratches, And this right here, it is beautiful. It's this is what you find on eBay. Does it play? Yes, it plays. So it's just one of those things, guys, when you're trying to find this stuff, you don't always get lucky. That's why I wanted to do this video for those games from another collector. Those are amazing. Those are pristine. Those are harder to pay for. So Medal of Honor, again, it's not like the most beautiful thing on the planet. I picked this up recently, and the disc is better than the last one. Definitely better. Ah, there we go. We kind of got a little glimpse of some of the imperfections. That's a good angle there. So, you know, I wanted to get the Medal of Honor games here. I wanted to be able to play them on the channel. I had never really played many of the Medal of Honor games. I know, my bad. But, you know, I wanted to be able to play them, and the only way to do that is to get them in. I have other ways of being able to play games, obviously. Now, I'm going to warn you. Do you have Casper game for PS1? I do not, Samuel. I'm sorry, Sergi. I do not have that one, Sergi. So I'm warning you. I bought this trilogy, and it came in a cardboard box for the trilogy, like it's supposed to from the store. It's not pretty, but the games are in better shape. So I bought it. Didn't really care that they were in the box. But yeah. So anyways, again, the beautiful stuff's out of the way. That part of the whole reason why I'm here today, we've gone over it. This is a bit different. So this is what you expect when you get something of cardboard from this era. You expect to see all the tattering and stupid stuff like this. This is what you expect. You pay a little bit less, and yeah, you got them, and yeah, like, they're here. The games are here, and you know the discs themselves. Pop this one out. This one's in pretty decent shape. PlayStation logo, original disc. But you can see it's just not as beautiful. It's got the hues to it, which is good. So you know it's an original, along with the PlayStation logo that you can see in the center. But again, compared to the stuff that I picked up today, this is not the most amazing thing in my collection. But I wanted to be able to play through these games, and the only way for me to do that is to go ahead and acquire them, put them into the collection in a respectful way. That way I can actually see them and play them and not be emulating. Because yes, I can emulate, but I would rather play on original hardware if I can. And you know, and you know, the manuals are here. Like, all the good things that I want to see from the games themselves, you know, were here. But that box that holds the trilogy together, it just doesn't look as good. So, and again, it's in pretty decent shape. So the Medal of Honor stuff came in, and I added them into the collection. Those are the 5 games that I added into the collection so far for Medal of Honor. I'm sure there'll be more, but that's all I added for now. There was a very interesting racing game that came over from Japan that I was interested in, and I had picked it up, one of the games for the Nintendo 64, which it's now, I think, in there with the rest of the collection. I think. Lego Racers. Where's the... Maybe it's not? I thought it was there. Okay. Anyways, I picked up these other games because they're all part of the same series. And that's Gadget Racers for PlayStation 2. I had picked up. Nice little interesting, fun, different kind of racing game. And again, is it the best condition? No. It's original disc though. It'll play. And yeah, this is what you expect when you shop on eBay or go to most places. Trying to find stuff the way those games looked is impossible nowadays. Everyone has already destroyed them. This one's got fingerprints on it. But again, it's original disc. Should play just fine. From today, it's the yard sale stuff that I went over earlier. The stuff I'm going over now has come in within the past couple months of just things that I've been trying to get here. And yeah. Well, I don't have a polisher. My work deals with cars, and if there's something that I want to do for music in my car, I go to work for that. But yeah. So actually, I could probably scoot this over some more. Yeah, YouTube did something to the chat box along with upgrading it for top fans. So anyways, so I picked up those, and then the last two things that I had picked up, again, you guys had suggested it, so I've got Conflict Desert Storm Desert Storm number 2. Got both of those in, that way I could play them. And again, I do my very, very best to make sure that I'm getting original games and original packaging. And sometimes you do your best, and there's only so much the pictures can show you on eBay. And I can either get upset and send them back and make the person that's selling them pay a lot more, but it did say like acceptable or something like that. And you know, it's a game. You never know what you're gonna get. You can resurface a disc only so many times before it no longer works the way it used to. So you got to be careful with resurfacing, that's for sure. What about Heart of the Darkness? I don't think I've heard of that one, so I don't think I have that one in the collection either. And then this one here has got a bunch of fingerprints on it. But overall, not too bad. So, and that's Desert Storm 2, so back to Baghdad. So, those I got in. And then I recently had to go down to Florida, and in order to deal with a family situation, and you know, that ended up being a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So at one point I went back to my old stomping grounds, because I am originally from Florida. And one of my old stomping grounds was a flea market, that I used to have my own private parking spot to be able to go in and shop there. That's how often I was visiting this place. And while I was there, I did pick up. Now, again, like I said earlier, when you go to a place to buy video games, you really want to see price tags. I don't care how, but I don't want to be searching on my phone for price charting. I don't want to feel like I'm getting ripped off. So when I go shop in person, I go to places that I respect and understand and get what I'm expecting. So for the Nintendo GameCube, I found Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's in really good shape. Manual, disc. And aside from, looks like one little smudge, this is in really good shape. And there's just that one little smudge on the bottom. And I have seen GameCube games scratch to high hell, and they still play. So, flea market find, place called the Video Game Dungeon. Xbox 360, they had this turtle game. There was no manual, but it did have this little insert. I could always try and find the manual online. It's a popular game. It's a kid game. If I'm lucky, I could find the manual not scratched. Original disc. Slight little markings on it. But, again, I know it works. The place that sold them, I trust them. I've never had an issue with them for the years that I've always gone hunting there. So, another great game. Split Second. I own the game digitally. I did not own it physically. So it was nice to find Split Second in the wild and be able to pick it up. And that one had the game and the manual in it. And the game is fairly pristine. It's a couple little marks here and there. So it's just little things here and there. It's hard to see everything, but you get the idea. I have a decent amount of tolerance for what I will accept into the collection. If it plays, I can get it at a good deal. Sometimes it's worth it to me than paying full price for something that's like never been opened or something like that. Those are hard for me to bite on. The last thing is the collector's edition of Harry Potter that's missing the cubes in the bottom. But everything else is here along with the original game. So let me just slide this open and get the game out. So here's the game. And it's there. And the original game and the bonus disc is there. The bonus disc might be one of the only times it's ever been removed. Is in pretty great shape. And then last one is the game itself, which is also in very good shape. Just that one little smudge in the center, but pristine, beautiful. I couldn't pass it up. And I know the manual was not in the box like it normally is. It's because it's out separately. So the manual's here. They just put it in a different location because it's a collector's box that holds everything. So there's that. So we're done with the flea market trip when I went to Florida and all the games that I got there. We went over the Desert Storm stuff that I picked up. Those were suggestions by you guys, the viewers. The Churro Q and Gadget Races, which is all part of the same thing. The Medal of Honor games that I picked up, just 5 of them. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I miss Toys R Us. I miss being able to shop from Toys R Us. So the next thing from there that I did is I went on a PlayStation VR kick for PlayStation 4. They're sealed, except for this one. This one's not sealed. Racing game, obviously. Nothing inside. A lot of times they didn't. And then the PlayStation Blu-ray disc. Couple little marks, but it's PlayStation. So yeah, you got to get Tack and the Power of Juju. Sounds familiar. I might own it. I'm not sure. So the next set of games should all work, but they're all PEGI rated, so that means they're the overseas versions. So these are all brand new, never been opened. Down the Rabbit Hole, the Zen Studios collection, Time Carnage, and Super Stardust Ultra in VR. So I picked up all those VR games, hoping for some fun. The Time Carnage kind of goes along with the one that I picked up today. I just want to be able to shoot some dinosaurs every now and then. Why not? Couldn't do it for real. Love to do it in a game. So, from there, the last thing I've got, which is laughable, because it's not in the best shape, but it was in the box, and it was like only a couple bucks more than one that was just the game sitting by itself. So the box, the manual, the game for just a couple bucks more, because the box looks like this. it's been squished. It's not seen the best of days. Got this. That's what I'm talking about when I was showing those Nintendo 64 games. Finding stuff in the box that looks as pristine as those did, you just don't see it. So inside here, there is the booklet. Yeah, look at that. You see what I'm talking about? This is what you expect to find off of eBay. You know, it just doesn't look that great. It's all worn out. Hell, the actual manual is stuck to the back of this. That's amazing. That's how bad it is. But I have the manual and the game already. I had received them a while back, so I have a better version of the actual manual. But yes, it's a Game Boy game. It supports the color for the Nintendo, or for the Super Nintendo. One of the best looking and sounding racing games of its time. Truly beautiful game. Like 10 times better than Gran Turismo, in your opinion. Cool. Well, at one point, I plan on playing it with the VR headset. We'll see how that goes. Alright, so a combination of what I'm about to show you next. Actually, I'm going to just go to the last one that I picked up, because I'm sure maybe some of you guys have an Xbox 360. You may have heard that they've found a way to be able to jailbreak it and be able to play ripped games on the Xbox 360. There's a couple ways of going about it. One was an arcade demo, which they are mostly giving away with the stuff that you need to download onto USB. That way you have everything you need in one little spot, shove it in there, do your thing, and walk away with your Xbox 360 being able to play your backlog of games that you've copied over onto a hard drive. The other game, aside from that Guitar Hero game, was Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. So I paid a little bit more than I wanted to for this game. I think word got out there that this game was one of the games that can do it. So I picked it up. The way I still had a hard copy version of a game that would allow me to be able to do this jailbreak. And, you know, the game is slightly scratched. I'm sure it'll play just fine. I've dealt with a lot worse. Nothing to be like, oh my god, I got the most pristine. No, the stuff I went over earlier, that is the most pristine stuff I have ever seen in a long time. And I still can't, I'm still amazed by that whole everything about it. Just amazed. So I had picked up that. So what I was doing recently is I've been playing on my channel Space Marine 2. And I've been playing it with my buddies at the same time, so it's a different way of being able to watch it, like, you know, the way you used to play Gears of War with all your friends back in the day. That's the way we wanted to do Space Marine, so we played it as all three of us playing it at once, and went through the entire campaign. It was a lot of fun. The second to last video just came out the other day, and the very, very last video, which is the longest video, will be releasing hopefully next week. But that one's ready to go. So anyway, so I got onto a Warhammer kick, and I was like, man, I wonder how far back in Warhammer I can go. So I went all the way back to PlayStation 1, and I found Warhammer Dark Omen, and it's there. It's complete. And the disc is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Just a couple little prints. Nothing crazy. No major scratches. And Dark Omen was added to the collection. And then Samuel had told me that there was a PSP version for Warhammer 40K Squad Command. And I found it. And it's here. And it's got the manual. And it's got the little disc. It's all there. Can't wait to play that. And then PlayStation 2 had a Warhammer 40K Fire Warrior was there. It's an online game. It's complete. It's actually in very good shape. And the manual is here along with some magazines and other parts of the game shop. So it's all there. Pretty cool. And then the game disc itself is in pretty good shape. I see the PlayStation logo, so it's an original disc, but got a couple little smudges, nothing crazy. So, like I said, I went on a Warhammer kick not too long ago, and I started picking up all these games. So I wanted to pick up Warhammer Battle March. I picked that one up by Bandai Games. Again, everything's here. Just trying to find everything and collect it all. This disc is amazing as well. It's got a couple little spots, but otherwise it's all there. Guys are talking about Drive Club and how amazing the game is. I gotta try it at some point. And then I found the original Space Marine from Warhammer 40K for Xbox 360. Found it in the disc. Found it together with not one, but 2 copies of the manual. Don't know why. And the game's beautiful. Xbox 360 logo around the center. It's an original disc. So I was like, yes! That's awesome. So, scooped it up. We're going to get more modern now. We're going into Xbox One. And so, first one I'm going to bring out is Inquisitor Martyr for Xbox One. I know for the most part there's no real game on this. You got to download it, but you know. Actually, Xbox One might still be one of the ones where the game is still on the disc. I'm not sure. But the disc looks really, really good. And you can almost see you can make out the M rating through it. That's crazy. But yeah, it's in amazing shape. Looks great. Added it to the collection. And then we have Warhammer 40K Mechanicus. I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool. I'll pick that one up too. Again, I went on a Warhammer kick. Started trying to get all the Warhammers into the collection. Never had played them before Space Marine 2. So I started to play them, and I was like, oh man, I need to get the others. And you can almost see the label through it. Amazing. Again, original disc. Looks great. Vermintide. The original Vermintide. I picked up that one. And that one looks pretty good as well. These are fairly newer, so it's a lot easier to find these. Looking great. And, you know, they're there. And the last one is Warhammer Chaos Bane. I found that one. I was like, all right, I'll get that one too. And, of course, you know, Xbox One has no manuals and everything because it's all in the game. But, you know, finding the discs in fairly pristine condition, that's pretty good. And, you know, so all of those games that I just went through that were not part of the trip today, Again, I got those in because I wanted to be able to play them, and be able to play more Warhammer on the channel. And I like to have original copies of things to be able to do so. The only other thing that's sitting on my desk, which I literally just put everything on top of it, but I found brand new on the Zon. I found the Atari 7800, which is compatible with all the 2600 games and the 7800 games. And it included, what is that called? Bentley Bears Crystal Quest is included in there. Obviously from OVG here on my shirt and on the channel. I go as far back as Atari. The Atari 2600 was my introduction to video games, and I have been gaming ever since. And I love them, and I don't know what's not I don't know what's not to like about video games. They're entertaining, they keep things good, and yeah. So you are now caught up with everything that's new to the collection that has not made its way to the shelves yet. But yeah, so those amazing titles with the heartwarming story behind it is a bunch, and it's a lot. Like I said, this channel is about, obviously I'm a collector, so collecting games is kind of my thing. Finding them in the shape that I found those, what is it, 9 games? That's hard to do. It's hard to find them like that, and it had a heartwarming story to go with it. And that above everything else is why I did what I did today, and spent a bit more than what I was planning on doing. I am going to take this video, and I need to edit the first 10 minutes. Sergi hopped on, and when he hopped on, he informed me that the microphone wasn't working because I had muted it, and I did not turn it back on before I started talking, because normally I run my whole intros music and all of that, but I did not do that today. I just went straight to talking. So it kind of worked out anyways. I'm just going to delete the first 10 minutes and start it over, which will make it like a separate video, so it won't be the same video. But that's the plan. I'm keeping the video. I'm gonna end up just moving it over off of the live stream section, and it's gonna be on the Let's Unbox It section, even though I didn't unbox it from the mail. And it's been a while since I've done an unboxing from the mail. It's one of those things. It was a lot easier back in the day when I used to keep this computer downstairs, and I used to do all the streaming from downstairs in my living room. But now that I've moved everything up here into the studio and the game room, I haven't been doing unboxing videos that often. So I want to thank every single one of you for coming in and taking a look at what I found from the yard sale today from Jimmy's collection. Rest in peace, 2 years ago. Patricia was widowed, and Jimmy had an amazing collection, and the games that I have received today from that collection that I paid for are absolutely beautiful, and I wish I could have been able to afford to give more for those titles, because they are absolutely beautiful. You just saw the conditions that will be acceptable to get into my collection in order to save money. Those games from Jimmy's collection are examples of when I'm willing to pay top dollar for something. And even though majority of those titles were titles I've never played before, because of the whole story, I wanted to get those from her in honor of Jimmy's old collection. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. And as I've said many times before, all live streams count toward the total. And that being said, top fan today is Kings with 75 and Samuel with 50. That is the final verdict of what is happening for today. Let me take my picture. And Kings, you did it. You beat Samuel out today. But I will say this. You have a bit more to go before you catch up with Samuel's amount of points for this month. He has been all over it. He's going to be a tough one to beat, guys. I think Samuel's going to end up being our top fan winner for August. But August is starting to draw to a close, and we're going through everything, and I totally left the top fans up instead of seeing the new comments. So, yeah. Yeah, they wouldn't let me grab more points but 50. Yeah, you guys can keep talking. I don't know if it's going to keep going up. It's staying the same, but it's official now. The score's locked in. Samuel, you can't get your way back into number one. We've already done the official. So thank you guys for being here. I hope you enjoyed going through this amazing collection from Jimmy, and also to go through some of the stuff that I got in fairly recently. So it's a decent amount of stuff that's new to this channel that will eventually get played. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys so very much. Best community ever. And I will see you guys the next time I reload, which should be tomorrow. We should be back into CarX. It won't even let you tie. Nope, it's not letting you tie. It's staying the same. So quit trying, Samuel. You've already lost. Just take the L. Take the L. Kings won today. It's okay. You've got more than enough of a distance between you and him. I promise. I promise you have more than enough points. Kings is gonna have to work really hard, and you're gonna not show up for something, which I don't want you to do that. I want you to continue watching. I want everyone to continue watching. This has been, I am finishing, yes, Sergi. This has been great. Thank you so much, everyone. And I will see all of you guys on Monday as we hop back into CarX, do some more racing, and have a great time. Guys, enjoy what's left of your weekend. I'll see you on the reload. Take care. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.